Do you need everything you have in your home? Or are you simply living among things that once had a reason to stay, but now only make you more tired each day? In this video, I'll tell you about Barbara. She's 70 lives alone in Oregon, and there's something special about her home. It's always clean, calm, and never cluttered. Not because she cleans all the time, but because she learned 10 Japanese decluttering habits decades ago when she worked for a company that partnered with Japan. You'll see why she doesn't keep lidless containers, why she changes her kitchen towels weekly and wipes her door frames, and why she doesn't have a guest bed that takes up an entire room no one uses. These small habits didn't just lighten her home, they gave her a life that feels simple, independent and peaceful. If your house feels too cramped, too full of things to sort through, and you don't know where to begin, this might be the video that gives you a gentle start. You don't need to do it all. You need to begin with one item, one corner, one habit. And before we go into the first habit, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you find this content helpful. Your support means the world to us and keeps us going to bring more meaningful ideas. Thank you for being here. Now, before we get to habit number 1, I want you to imagine the first kitchen cabinet you tried to reorganize after years. One of those drawers that makes you sigh the moment you open it. That's exactly where Barbara began her journey to live lighter. Habit 1. Let go of plastic containers without lids. Barbara has a habit I've only seen among the Japanese. Once a month, she empties every plastic container from her cabinet and lays them all out on the table and checks the lids one by one. If it doesn't fit, it goes. If it's cloudy, it goes. If the lid is loose, the bottom is warped, scratched, or smells like old plastic, she lets it go. I once asked her why she does it so regularly. She smiled and said, in Japan, the kitchen is treated like a sacred space. Not because of fancy meals, but because it's where a family is nourished. And no one wants clutter hiding in the place where food is kept. The first habit Barbara learned is to only keep containers that are intact and truly useful. The Japanese call this living with items that serve you, not living to serve your items. She never holds on to lidless tubs or mismatched containers of every size that can't even nest together. She chooses clear matching glass containers that stack neatly and make everything visible. You can try this today. Open your cabinet, lay everything out and ask yourself, does this have a lid? Does it stack? When was the last time I used it? If you don't have a clear answer, it might be time to let it go. Sometimes we keep stained old containers from 5 years ago just in case, but in a cramped kitchen, every useless item takes up space that could bring ease instead. Barbara believes a simple kitchen is the first step toward a home that breathes more easily. Habit 2. Let go of extra mugs, cups, and water bottles. In Barbara's kitchen, you won't find a shelf overflowing with mismatched mugs and colorful cups. Instead, she keeps just 8 matching glasses, 4 plain water bottles, and 2 favorite ceramic mugs lined up neatly. I once asked if she ever felt like it wasn't enough. She smiled and said, "The Japanese don't measure abundance by quantity, but by how well things match their true needs." The second habit Barbara learned is to keep only the number of items that match your daily rhythm and remove the extras that sit unused. She used to have over 20 mugs each, with a memory one from a trip, one gifted by family, one with a cat she loved. But over time she realized she only drank tea from 2 favorites. The rest sat on the shelf collecting dust and taking up space. The Japanese believe everything in your home should have a clear purpose used often. or bringing deep joy? If not, it should be released to bring joy to someone else. You can try this today. Open your cupboard. Take everything out and look at each item. Do you use it weekly? Do you truly love it? Does it add calm or clutter to your space? If not, give it away or store it elsewhere. A kitchen doesn't need to be full to feel warm. It only needs to feel light enough that you want to be there again tomorrow. Habit 3. Let go of single-purpose kitchen gadgets. There was a time when Barbara's kitchen was filled with small appliances she thought she'd use all the time. A juicer, a waffle maker, an egg boiler, and an electric pepper grinder. But after years, they just sat in the cabinets unused, taking up space and making it harder to find what she needed. The third habit she learned from the Japanese is to prioritize multi-use tools or only keep appliances that are used often. In Japan, simplicity in the kitchen is highly valued. They don't like countertops crowded with bulky equipment. Barbara set a simple rule. If something isn't used at least a few times a week, it doesn't deserve to sit on the counter. And if there's no space to store it, it's time to let it go. She kept a kettle, a small coffee maker, and a handheld blender. The rest she gave away or donated. She said every time she let go of a gadget she didn't use, she felt like she was decluttering her expectations. No more guilt about using it enough. Instead, she only kept what she truly needed. You can do the same. List every appliance in your kitchen. Mark the ones you haven't touched in 3 months. If it can be done by hand or replaced with a simpler item, maybe it's not worth keeping. A tidy kitchen often begins by letting go of gadgets that promised to make cooking easier but ended up making your space heavier. Habit 4. Let go of old cleaning products you no longer use. Barbara used to have more than 10 bottles under her kitchen sink. Floor cleaner glass spray, disinfectant mold remover. Even some she bought because the commercials sounded convincing, but she never used them more than once. She said every time she opened that cabinet, she had to bend down and dig through the mess just to find the one she needed. And then she'd shut it quickly because of the bad smell and the overwhelming clutter. That changed when she learned one simple habit from the Japanese. You only need 3 main products: a floor cleaner, a multi-purpose spray, and a toilet cleaner. She put them all in a small caddy with a handle neat and easy to move, and called it her ready-to-go cleaning kit. The Japanese don't buy out of curiosity. They only repurchase what worked and never keep more than 2 bottles with the same function. Barbara's rule was this: if you don't remember why you bought it or haven't used it in 3 months, let it go without guilt. You can try this today. Open the cabinet under your sink, take everything out, clean the space, and choose just 3 or 4 products you use. The rest consider tossing or giving away. Don't let unused items waste your time every time you clean. Sometimes keeping less gives you more control. If you've made it this far, you've likely realized you're not alone in the journey to lighten your home. Leave a comment or subscribe if you'd like to keep discovering small changes that make a big difference. Thank you deeply for being here. Now, let's move on to the next habit. Habit 5. Let go of old cords, chargers, and remote controls. In the drawer near Barbara's sofa, there used to be dozens of cables, old remotes, and chargers from the days when phones still had flat connectors. She didn't mean to keep them, but every time she cleaned, she thought maybe I'll need it one day. That changed when she learned a very clear principle from the Japanese. If a cable no longer fits anything you use, let it go. The Japanese believe that even electronics should reflect the life you're living now, and holding on to outdated tech only adds mental weight. Barbara gathered every cord charger and remote in the house and sorted them into 3 groups used often, might be useful as backup, and not used at all. The last group went into a small box with a label and a date. If she didn't touch it after 6 months, she threw it away or took it to be recycled. She also labeled every cable she kept so she wouldn't have to guess next time. You can do the same. Set aside a morning gather all day, all your cords and chargers, check what still works, and only keep what's necessary. Many people have 10 of the same cable, but only use 1 or 2. Once you declutter that drawer, you'll be surprised how much lighter your space and your mind feels without tangled cords weighing you down. Habit 6. Let go of fridge magnets that clutter your space. Barbara's fridge used to be covered with magnets from every trip, gifts from relatives, numbers from service companies, and plastic letters for her grandkids. It was a colourful wall of memories, but it also made her kitchen look noisy and busy. One day, she read in a Japanese book that visual space affects your mind just like sound does. If your eyes take in too much chaos every time you open the fridge, your kitchen won't feel restful. That idea stayed with her. She decided to keep just 3 things: a small photo of her grandchild, a handwritten grocery list, and 1 magnet with a thank you note from an old friend. The rest she took down and cleaned the fridge door. Suddenly, the whole kitchen felt bigger and calmer. Barbara said that's why Japanese kitchens often have blank fridge doors, so the space feels open and light. When they cook, they don't get distracted by dozens of tiny things that don't belong there. If your fridge is covered in magnets, try removing them all just once. Wipe it clean. Then only put back what is meaningful or truly useful. If there are keepsakes you're not ready to let go of, store them in a memory box. The goal isn't to throw everything away. It's to make space for your eyes and your mind to breathe. Sometimes a blank surface is the quiet we didn't know we needed. Habit 7. Let go of old torn or damp kitchen towels. Every Friday morning, Barbara opens her kitchen towel drawer, pulls out the ones she used all week, washes them or tosses them if they're too old, and replaces them with clean, dry ones. She says the Japanese treat kitchen towels with care because they touch our food surfaces and hands every day. So you shouldn't just grab any old rag. Torn, musty, or moldy towels don't just make the kitchen look messy, they can affect your health. Barbara used to keep lots of old towels, thinking she'd use them to clean the floor or wipe spills. But she didn't use most of them. They just made the drawer messy. She decided to keep only 8 towels, enough to rotate through the week, and always have 3 clean ones ready each morning. She chose towels that absorb, will have neutral colors, wash and dry easily, and fold neatly to fit the tray. No more stuffing them in at random. You can try this over the weekend. Look at every towel in your drawer. Toss the ones that are too worn, smell musty, or haven't been used in a while. Keep a few for shoes or outdoor chores if you need, but don't let them mix with your clean kitchen space. A fresh towel doesn't just work better, it gives you a sense of ease as you begin your cooking day. As Barbara says, when even a small corner is cared for, we feel more respect and comfort in our own home. Habit 8. Let go of guest beds that rarely get used. Barbara's spare bedroom used to have a full-sized bed with clean sheets all made up, but no one had slept in it for over 4 years. Instead, It became a place to drop unfolded laundry market bags and freshly ironed clothes. Little by little, the room turned into a holding space for everything without a proper place. The bed became a surface for procrastination. After a trip to Japan visiting a friend who lived in a very small apartment, Barbara realized something important. In Japan, it's rare to dedicate an entire room for guests unless someone stays often. They use sofa beds, foldable futons, or simple mats that can be tucked away. To them, space at home is valuable. Back in the US, Barbara replaced her guest bed with a sleeper sofa that pulls out when needed. The rest of the room became her reading space with a small bookshelf and a simple desk. She said it felt like gaining a whole new room, a place to sip tea in the morning, a spot to read the paper in the afternoon. And still guests had a comfortable bed when they came. If you have a guest bed that no one uses, ask yourself, who is it serving? If not you or someone else regularly. Consider turning that room into something more useful. A workspace, a yoga nook, or a quiet personal retreat. Your home should reflect how you live every day, not how you might host someone once or twice a year. Habit 9. Don't use kitchen rugs just because others do. One day, I asked Barbara why there wasn't a small rug in her kitchen like in so many others. She told me she had tried it once, but it got dirty quickly, caught her feet, and made her bend down every time she needed to mop the floor. She had read plenty of articles recommending kitchen rugs to reduce leg fatigue or warm up the space, but she trusted her own experience more than general advice. In Japan, people don't follow trends easily. They choose what truly fits their rhythm of life. Maybe a kitchen rug is helpful if you cook for long hours, but if you only spend short, regular times in the kitchen and clean often. Having a bare floor is easier to wipe cleaner overall and safer too. Barbara chose to wear soft indoor slippers to ease foot fatigue. Her floor is wiped every morning and no corner is hidden. She said having no rug makes her feel lighter, no lifting to clean underneath, no hidden stains, and no sense of the house being broken into patches. If you're using a kitchen rug, ask yourself, do you really need it or did you put it there because everyone else seems to? If it's necessary, choose one that's thin, washable, and non-slip. If not, try going without it for a week. You might discover your floor feels simpler and your mind has one less thing to deal with each day. Habit 10. Reduce the number of decorative pillows in your home. Barbara's living room sofa used to hold 8 throw pillows each, with its color and pattern. It looked cozy, but every time someone wanted to sit, they had to move. Cleaning took longer, and she always had to wait for sunny days to wash and dry them. Then one day she watched a Japanese program about interior design that said even pillows should have limits. They should serve a purpose, not to pile up and look full, but to enhance the space and support real relaxation. From that day on, Barbara kept only 3 pillows, 2 on the sofa and 1 on the armchair. All had removable covers, neutral colors, and soft fabrics that were easy to clean. She said that walking into a room where you don't need to clear a seat before sitting down already feels like a relief. And when you look around and don't see pillows stacked like a fort, your mind doesn't feel as cluttered either. If your home has too many pillows, try gathering them all in one place. Sit with each one. Ask yourself, do I like this one? Do I need it? Is it just for show, but a pain to clean? Keep only those that truly support you, that actually feel good. The rest can be stored or shared with someone else. In the end, being able to sit comfortably matters more than looking at a colorful couch with no room to breathe. As I watched Barbara tidy up her drawers, gently wipe door handles and replace kitchen towels every Friday morning. I didn't just see an American woman cleaning her house. I saw a quiet and deep blending of two cultures, Japanese and American. The Japanese are famous for their orderliness and strong sense of community. They are meticulous in every detail, from how they fold clothes to how they place their slippers at the door. In their culture, living space is not just a place to stay, it's an extension of one's character, spirit, and inner life. Meanwhile, Americans, especially older adults like Barbara, carry an incredible strength. They are independent, resilient, self-directed, and unafraid to begin again. At 70, Barbara is still open to learning something new, trying a new habit. Not because anyone forced her, but because she wants her home to be lighter and her life more peaceful. That combination creates something truly unique. The Japanese teach us to put everything in its rightful place. And Americans remind us that we too deserve a rightful place in the life we're living. The habits Barbara follows don't just make her house cleaner. They help her feel intentional, aware, and free from being pulled backward by old things. You don't need to live in Tokyo or Kyoto to learn this. And you don't have to give up who you are to live simply. Be fully American with initiative, creativity, and the will to keep going. But also, borrow a little Japanese spirit to live with more calm, more care, and more gratitude for every little corner in your home. Thank you for staying with us all the way through. If you found this helpful, please like, subscribe, and leave a comment to let us know you're there. Your support means everything. See you in the next video.